Pause for a moment. This could put thousands of extra dollars in your pocket every year if you contributed to Social Security before 1997. The government has officially announced a major update that could significantly increase your monthly benefits. Yet most Americans remain completely unaware this is happening. We're discussing a real, verified financial adjustment, not speculation, not a possibility, impacting millions of retired workers, their spouses, and survivors nationwide. These are individuals who dedicated decades to building this country, raising families, and fulfilling their responsibilities. They're finally receiving what they rightfully earned. But here's the critical detail. Eligibility isn't automatic. There are specific criteria, deadlines, and essential steps you must know to ensure you don't miss a single cent. Over the next few minutes, I'll explain everything: who qualifies, how much you could gain, and exactly what to do next. This is one video you can't afford to ignore. If you want to help your loved ones avoid missing out, tap that like button now so this reaches every deserving American. Let's dive in. If this information helps you, show your support so more hardworking Americans can access it before time runs out. Now, let's get straight to the point. What Social Security has just confirmed isn't something to delay. This isn't a matter to set aside for later. This is the kind of news that can tangibly improve your daily life in measurable ways. If you or someone in your family worked and paid into Social Security before 1997, or at any point in a career that included public service, you'll want to hear every detail we're about to share. Get comfortable, because this is important, real, and has the potential to add substantial income to your monthly budget for the rest of your life. Let's begin with what's been confirmed and why this matters as much as we're saying. For years, decades in fact, a hidden and deeply unfair penalty existed within the Social Security system. This wasn't widely publicized. The Social Security Administration didn't issue press releases about it. It was buried in the technical rules governing benefit calculations, quietly reducing payments for millions of Americans who spent their careers in certain public sector roles. We're talking about educators who shaped future generations, firefighters who risked their lives to protect others, police officers who worked overnight shifts to keep communities safe, postal workers, nurses in government hospitals, city and county employees, state workers, and federal employees across every agency. These individuals gave their best years, their energy, and their dedication to serving their communities and this nation, only to face financial penalties through two obscure provisions in Social Security law that most people had never heard of: the Windfall Elimination Provision, WEP, and the Government Pension Offset, GPO. Together, these rules had been silently reducing, or in some cases completely eliminating, the Social Security benefits these workers and their families had earned and expected in retirement. Now, here's why this moment is so significant. The Social Security Fairness Act, a bill championed for decades by advocates, unions, retiree organizations, teacher associations, firefighter groups, and hardworking Americans, has now been signed into law. This legislation permanently eliminates both WEP and GPO. That means millions of Americans who saw their Social Security benefits reduced will now receive higher monthly payments, sometimes by hundreds of dollars. Some may even qualify for retroactive payments dating back to when the law took effect. This is real money, owed to real people who earned it through years of honest work. The system failed them for too long, but now it's correcting course. Let's take a closer look at how these provisions actually worked, and why their repeal is such a big deal. The Windfall Elimination Provision, WEP, was a rule that reduced Social Security retirement or disability benefits for workers who spent part of their career in jobs not covered by Social Security, but also worked in other jobs that were. When WEP was introduced in the 1980s, lawmakers were concerned that some public employees might appear as low-income earners on paper because their Social Security-covered work represented only a portion of their career. To prevent what they saw as an unintended advantage, they created WEP to reduce benefits for these workers. The problem? In practice, WEP unfairly penalized workers who had legitimately earned benefits in two separate systems. A teacher in Ohio who spent 25 years in public schools and then 15 years in the private sector, paying into Social Security, saw her benefits cut by hundreds of dollars monthly simply because of her years in education. A California firefighter who retired from the fire department after decades of service and later worked in the private sector faced the same unjust reduction. A postal worker who transitioned to state government employment was caught in the same trap. None of these workers did anything wrong. They simply worked in multiple sectors and they were penalized for it. That wasn't fair policy. And now, thanks to the repeal, it's finally being fixed. The government pension offset, GPO, was even more damaging for families with heartbreaking real-life consequences. GPO reduced spousal and survivor Social Security benefits for individuals receiving a pension from a government job not covered by Social Security. In practical terms, this meant a wife whose husband worked 35 or 40 years in the private sector, faithfully paying into Social Security, could see her spousal or survivor benefits drastically reduced or even eliminated because she had worked as a public school teacher or city employee and received a modest pension. In many cases, the GPO reduction was so severe that surviving spouses received nothing from their late partner's Social Security record, despite decades of contributions. Widows and widowers who had lost their life partners were left with zero benefits, purely because of the type of job they held years earlier. This was a profound injustice affecting hundreds of thousands of families, and advocates fought tirelessly to correct it. Now, both WEP and GPO are gone. They've been repealed and they will no longer impact anyone's benefits moving forward. If you or someone you care about was affected by either provision, there's a strong chance your Social Security payment is about to increase. And depending on how much your benefit was reduced, that increase could be life-changing. Let's discuss who exactly will benefit and by how much, because these are the numbers that matter most. The Social Security Administration estimates that around 3 million people previously subject to WEP will see their monthly benefits rise. The average increase for WEP-affected individuals is expected to be about $360 per month, though the exact amount varies based on earnings history and how severely benefits were reduced. Some may see smaller increases, perhaps $100 to $200 monthly, while others, especially those hit by the maximum WEP penalty, could see $500 or $600 more each month. For those affected by GPO, the impact can be even greater. Approximately 700,000 people had their spousal or survivor benefits completely eliminated by GPO, and another 190,000 saw partial reductions. For those who received nothing due to GPO, the repeal means they may now qualify for spousal or survivor benefits for the first time, potentially over $1,000 monthly. Those who receive partial benefits will see their payments increase, sometimes significantly. In total, the SSA estimates that 3.2 million Americans will benefit from this change, most of them retirees, many elderly, living on fixed incomes and carefully managing their budgets. This is a historic shift that will improve financial security for millions. Now, let's address a critical question: retroactive payments. Due to the law's specific provisions and its enactment date, back pay is included. The SSA is actively processing these adjustments and issuing payments to those owed. Retroactive payments cover the period since the law took effect, which could mean a substantial lump sum for many. If your monthly benefit increases by $350 and you're owed several months of back pay, you could receive $2,000, $3,000 or more in a single payment, on top of your higher ongoing benefits. For retirees or widows on fixed incomes, this kind of one-time payment can make a real difference. There's also an important question about what you need to do, or not do, to receive these adjustments. If you're already receiving Social Security and were affected by WEP or GPO, you don't necessarily need to file a new claim. The SSA is reviewing records to identify affected individuals and update their accounts. However, and this is crucial, your account information must be accurate. Ensure your mailing address is current, your direct deposit details are correct, and your earnings record reflects your complete work history. Inaccuracies or gaps in your earnings record, which are more common than you might think, could affect your adjustment. The SSA is handling an unprecedented volume of updates, so processing will take time. Not everyone will see changes immediately, and payments will roll out in phases. If you believe you're eligible but haven't seen an increase yet, it doesn't mean you've been overlooked. Your case may still be in the queue. Stay informed by checking your My Social Security account regularly. reading SSA correspondence carefully, and reaching out with questions. Let's also discuss those who may be affected but aren't currently receiving benefits. If you worked in public service and delayed claiming Social Security because WEP or GPO made your benefits seem negligible, now is the time to reconsider. The reduction no longer applies, so the financial equation has changed. Depending on your age, work history, and other income sources, filing for benefits sooner may now make sense. Consult a financial advisor or Social Security expert to review your options. There's another group who may not realize they're now eligible: widows and widowers. If your spouse worked and paid into Social Security, but you were previously denied spousal or survivor benefits due to GPO, that decision is no longer valid. The rule has been repealed, so you may now qualify for benefits based on your late spouse's earnings. Contact the SSA to file a claim. This won't happen automatically. We also want to be transparent about something important. While the increases we're discussing are real and the repeal of WEP and GPO is permanent, the exact amount you'll receive depends on your unique circumstances, your earnings history, how much your benefit was reduced, and your pension details. No one can guarantee a specific increase without reviewing your records. What we can say is that if you think you're affected, you should act now, not later. Let's make the human impact clear. Consider a 72-year-old retired teacher who spent 25 years in public schools where Social Security wasn't withheld and 15 years in the private sector. Under WEP, her Social Security benefit was reduced by $400 monthly. She accepted this for years, not fully understanding why. Now, that reduction is gone. She'll receive $400 more each month, potentially $50,000 or $60,000 over her lifetime. That changes lives. Or take a 78-year-old widow whose husband worked 40 years in private industry, paying into Social Security. She spent 30 years in county government, receiving a modest pension. Under GPO, her survivor benefit was wiped out. Now, she'll qualify for a survivor benefit, potentially $1,000 or more monthly. For someone on a fixed income, this isn't just an improvement, it's a fundamental shift in financial security. These aren't hypothetical examples. Millions of Americans have lived with these reductions for years, and now the law has corrected the injustice. Here's what to do next. 1. Organize your records. Gather pension statements, Social Security statements, and work history documents, especially for public sector jobs or pre-1997 employment. 2. Log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov. If you don't have one, create it. It's free and the best way to track your benefits. 3. Review your earnings record. For accuracy, if there are gaps, contact the SSA. 4. Reach out to the SSA if you have questions. Call their national number or visit a local office. Lines may be busy, but your financial security is worth the effort. 5. Beware of scams. The SSA will never ask for your bank details, fees, or gift cards. Report suspicious contacts immediately. This change represents more than just higher payments. It's the correction of a long-standing unfairness in a system workers trusted. It's a recognition that public servants, teachers, firefighters, police officers, and others deserve the same retirement security as everyone else. It's a testament to the power of persistence, as advocates refuse to give up despite years of setbacks. Most importantly, it's a reminder that millions of eligible individuals may not know they're affected. Sharing this information with friends, family, or neighbors could make a real difference in their lives. To wrap up, here are the key takeaways. The Social Security Fairness Act has permanently repealed WEP and GPO. An estimated 3.2 million Americans will see higher benefits. The average WEP increase is about $360 monthly. GPO impacts can be even greater. Retroactive payments may be owed, so check your account and stay informed. Act now. Don't assume you'll be notified automatically. This is your chance to secure what you've earned. Don't let it slip away. I'm Jessica, and this is U.S. Immigration America. Thank you for watching till the end.